And welcome back to my channel. It is Jama here, and in today's video we are going to be making this beautiful dress with an underbust corset. For this dress I used like 3 yards of Ankara fabric. I used half yard of lace for the sleeve, and I used half yard of doll face for the underbust corset. If you want to bone it, you can bone it. If you want to add zipper at the back, you can add zipper at the back. So these are the fabrics that I am using. I have my doll face, my lace, and my Ankara. So first off, we are starting with the skirt part. We want to cut out our skirt first of all. For the skirt, I am using a normal straight cut skirt. For this normal straight cut skirt, first of all you cut a straight cut skirt. So there are two ways to this. You can either make it an inbuilt corset, you can make it to have an inbuilt corset, or you can just do your regular corset with a basque waistline. It is up to you. I have a video on how to sew an inbuilt corset, so if you are confused on how to do that, you can watch that video. Now I folded my fabric. I'll take out my normal half length. I marked my shoulder to hip, shoulder to knee, and the full length is the full length of this particular Ankara. Now I'm sorry, this white chalk wasn't shown. I didn't notice, but I later changed my chalk to blue so that we you all can see it. Now I'll take my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches, my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. Then at my knee, I will take out 8 inches from my hip. My hip is 40. I took out 8, that is 32. Then I divided the 32 by 4, and that is 8 inches. So now I marked 8 inches at my knee line and I connected it to my hip. The next thing that I'm going to do right now is to connect my knee down to the full length. You just mark a straight line from your hip down to your full length. Now after connecting the line, I'll go ahead and cut out. After cutting out this particular front, we'll use it to cut out our basket. Then for the back, we are adding 2 inches zipper allowance to the back. You add 2 inches zipper allowance to the back. So for this, for the back of this dress, we did not lace it. It is just a normal zipper dress. I don't want to lace it, but if you want to lace your own, like tying it at the back, you are free to tie your own. But for me, I'm making a normal zipper. The main focus on this tutorial is on the under bust corsets, the sleeve, and the basque waistline. Now I have placed this one on the fabric, and I'll go ahead and cut out, adding 2 inches for my zipper allowance to it. Right now I am done cutting, and I will move ahead to the top. Now we are doing freehand cutting. I know a lot of us hate pattern drafting, but we are doing freehand cutting this time. Let's try out freehand cutting for this type of corset. Now I'll fold my fabric. This is the fabric that I folded already for the top, and after folding this, I'll go ahead and cut a normal princess dart. We're using a normal princess dart for this particular corset. It will make things very easy for us. Now right now what I'm going to do is that I will mark my bust point, my chest line, my under bust, and I'll add extra 5 inches or 6 inches to the half length. Like this thing is a basque corset, right, and it has combination, but I want to cut out everything on this particular Ankara before tracing out our under bust corset. I want to make it freehand. So my chest line is 8, my bust point is 10, my under bust is 13 inches, my half length is 16, though I made it 17 for the sake of allowance. Then I will add extra 4 or 5 inches to the full length of this bustier. I am making a normal princess dart bustier, a normal princess dart bustier. Now I'll cut out the remaining fabric from there so that we can focus on what we are working with. I had to change the color of my chalk to blue. Now after ruling my lines, I'll connect my chest line to my shoulder. Now I'll go ahead and mark my armhole. That is if you want to mark your armhole before your princess. That at my bust point I marked 4.5. My nipple to nipple is 8 divided by 2, 4, but I marked 4.5. At my under bust I marked 4. So from your under bust you are going to connect that 4 inches down to the full length, like even down to the basque of this particular bust here. Now I'll find the midpoint of my armhole, that is 4, and I will connect it from my bust point to that midpoint that I marked at my armhole. Now I hope you guys can see this chalk that I'm using. I'll go ahead and take out 2.5 inches at the side piece of this bust here. I'll mark out 2.5 inches, and I said that you should connect your dart line down to the basque waistline. Connect the other 2.5 inches that I marked. I will connect it down to my basque waistline also. Then I will connect from my under bust to my bust point. From my under bust to my bust point. Now from my armhole, from the midpoint of my armhole, I'll come down by 2 and I will connect. Then I will have to curve. So right now, the next thing that I'm going to do is to cut out the center piece. I have not marked my neckline for now, but we are still going to mark it. I'll cut out my bust cut. I'll cut the armhole. Then I'll place the two of them to overlap each other. Please always remember to notch your under bust. It is very important. Always remember to notch your under bust. So I'll go ahead and place the center piece so that it will overlap the side piece. After doing that, I will take my body measurement. That is my bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. We are doing freehand cutting, so that's why I'm adding all my allowance to my ankara. Now at the waistline, I will go ahead and divide my waist by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. Then I'll go ahead and connect. Then from this my half length, I will mark my basque. If you want, you can come down by 2 inches before marking, but from the half length I'll just go ahead and mark my basque. Someone said that I add too much allowance to my half length, so for this particular video I didn't want to add too much allowance. I hope what you have here is okay. I just have 1 inch at my half length because my normal half length is 16, but I made it 17 is for half length. I hope you understand. Now I'll go ahead and cut out the side piece. The next thing that I'm going to do right now is to mark my neckline. I'll go ahead and measure my neckline. So for the neckline of this particular bust here, for this particular corset, you can make it 4 inches wide, 4 inches wide. Then the depth depends on how you want it. Like my own depth will reach my bust point. The one we have in the video reached the under bust, but my own, I want it to stop at the bust point. I'll connect from my bust point to the 4 inches that I marked at my neckline. Then I'll go ahead and cut. This is a normal V neckline, though the V is somehow curved. It is not too straight. I'll go ahead and cut out this V neckline. I'll also cut my shoulder slant. That is 1 inch. I'll go ahead and cut my 1 inch shoulder slant. Then after doing this, I'll cut out my lining. Like after doing this, I'll go ahead and cut out my lining first of all before doing any other thing. I want my lining to be one piece, like a one piece lining. I'm trying to make this easy for us. So if you're making an inbuilt corset also, that means that the length of your corset will reach your hip line. Let's say your hip line is 25, the length of your bustier will reach 25 inches. Now I'll go ahead and cut out the back, and remember that the back will stop at the half length. This is a basque waistline, so the back piece will stop at the half length, while the front will continue from the half length and down to the basque waistline. I'll also notch my half length so that I'll know where to stop at when I'm cutting my back. So this is the piece that we use for my back. After folding it, I'll go ahead and place my front pieces on it. This is my front, my center front. And remember to add zipper allowance. If you are lacing it at the back, you will subtract 2 inches from the normal measurement at the back. You take out 2 inches so that you can tie it at the back. So you can see how I raised it up. The front will stop at the half length. The back will stop at the half length. The back will stop at the half length. Then I'll go ahead and cut out every other thing. I want the back and the front to have the same neckline, but if you want to give your back a different neckline, you can give your back a different neckline, but I want it to be V front and back. Now I am done cutting out the center back. I'll go ahead and cut out the side of the back. So this is the remaining piece. I'll place the side piece so that two of them will be equal at the half length. Then I'll go ahead and cut. After cutting, you also cut out your armhole, and this is what you have for the back. The back is really easy. This is how I cut my back piece for my princess, that once I'm done cutting the front, I will use it to cut out my back. So this is what I have. After cutting this, next thing that we are going to cut is our sleeve. We want to cut out our sleeve. We are going to cut the puffy sleeve on an Ankara fabric, then the other sleeve will be on lace. So the lace that I used is a bale lace. It's a very cheap lace or inferior lace. So that is the lace that I will cut on. Now I'll go ahead and fold my fabric into two. Like I folded once and I folded again. The full length of this sleeve will be 10, but I added like 1 inch for it, like 1 inch seam allowance. Then I'll mark a wide sleeve. This sleeve is somehow wide, right? Then I'll go ahead and cut it. Like the width of your sleeve should be up to 8 inches. Then it should be up to 8 inches. Then the hemline of this sleeve is not straight, it is curved. So you can see the way I'm curving the hemline of that particular sleeve. The sleeve is curved, it is not straight. So if you make your puff, that is the shape it will give you. Now this one is for our long sleeve. This is like a bale. It is more like an organza. It is fine. It is more like a bale. I don't know how to explain, but it feels like organza somehow. Then I'll go ahead and fold it, and this is the fabric that I will cut out my long sleeve from. I wanted to add this fabric to my waistline, like to the black part of that my Basque corset, but later I changed my mind. I'll go ahead and take the my body measurements, that is the width, my round sleeve, and the wrist measurement. Then I'll go ahead and cut. So this is my sleeve. These are my sleeve pieces. I'll open it up so that you can see. I want to take down the armhole a bit. If I open it up, you can see the number 1 and the number 2. It is transparent. They are transparent. So now I'll keep this aside. After doing this, you'll start cutting out our lining. I'll cut for my skirt. Like every piece of this corset will have lining except the sleeve, but the skirt, the corset, everything will have lining. And remember, for our front piece, I said that the lining of the front piece will be in one piece. The way we traced out that black part of the underbust corset, we're not going to do anything to our lining. Our lining will remain the same. right now I am done cutting the pieces. I'll go ahead and join them. I've added my pad to these pieces. I'll go ahead and join them. So after joining, this is what we have. And after doing that, you are going to trace out the shape of the underbust corset you want. You can see the one I'm marking it. Just go ahead and trace out the shape of the underbust corset you want. So this line started from, let's say, 1 inch below our armhole line, 1 inch below our chest line, and it went up to the center front, to the round, to the V shape of the center front. And see, you cut it off, you have to cut it off. Then from there you will start cutting the other side. You can see I came down by 1 inch from the armhole line, and I had to cut to join my V neckline. Now this is what we have closed our dart on this ankara, the basque, like the underbust corset part of this, the underbust corset. You can see I have two pieces right there. I'll go ahead and cut out on one piece. Like I have three pieces, but I've closed them on the ankara. I hope you understand. Then you place the ankara on a doll face, and then you cut it as one piece, like one piece. You don't have to pieces it again because you have closed the dart on the fabric. Now if you are cutting that bra cup area, like the underbust area, remember to add half an inch seam allowance. You can see I'm adding half an inch seam allowance to it. Do not cut exactly on the area you want. Add half an inch seam allowance. Now I will take out my ankara, and we can see what we have here. It is taking shape already. It is really fine. Now I'll add interface to this underbust corset. I want to add interface to it. I don't want it to look so soft, though I'm not going to wear this. And after adding interface to it, this is what I have. I'll go ahead and trim the excess. Now if you want to add bone into this, you go ahead and add bone to it. Like, it is a corset, of course, so you need to add bone. You need to run your line bone on it. I didn't run that because I'm not going to wear this dress. There's no point wasting my resources, I'm sorry. But you go ahead and mark your style lines and how you want your bone to be on this underbust corset. This is really looking fine already. So this is a line bone. You will have to sew it inside. So this is the inner part of my underbust corset, and using my chalk I'll go ahead and mark my style lines. So these are the style lines that I want it to have. In case you want to add bone to your own, you go ahead and mark these style lines. Now after doing this, I will join the bra cup pieces. I don't know, but I'm calling them bra cup. I'll go ahead and join my bra cup pieces to this underbust corset. This is what I have. Just arrange them very well and use half an inch to join them. Then after joining, I'm heading back to my skirt. So this is my skirt, and I'm trying to like close my zipper allowance. When you place the two back pieces together, you mark out your zipper allowance. If you have been following me for some time now, you will know that I do close my zipper allowance before taking my body measurement. So my zipper allowance was 2, but I had to use half an inch to turn that area, so I made it 1.5. Just go ahead and mark your zipper allowance. So now I am done joining these bra cut pieces to my underbust corset, and I'll go ahead and turn with this lining. You can see the reason why I said your lining should be in one piece. You don't really need to do all those tracing and cutting. It has to be in one piece. So right now I will go ahead and turn my neckline. These are my back pieces. I'll turn the neckline. After turning them, I will close zipper allowance for the back pieces. This is my front. I'm done turning with my lining. You can just go ahead and trim off your lining a bit. So had it been I added a line bone or a bone to this underbust corset, you know it will be very firm, but like I said, I don't want to add bone to mine. But you need to add bone to yours. You can even add your bones to your lining if you don't want your bones to be on your main fabric. So this is my corset right now, and the next thing that I'm going to do is that I will shape my skirt part first of all. After shaping my skirt part, I will shape my upper part, like my bustier or my corset. After shaping that, I'll go ahead and mark my basque waistline. I'm done joining my bustier or my corset, and I've trimmed the armhole. Right now, go ahead and trim the half length the way I want it to be. It's up to you. Like I said, you can make this inbuilt corset if you want. Now I'm trying to take my retake my measurements to make sure that they are in shape. The next thing I'm going to do is that I'll introduce my skirt, and I'll place this bustier on top. After trimming my basque waistline, I'll place the corset on top, and then I'll trace out the basque waistline. I have done so many videos on corsets, like I have enough of them. If you are confused, you can just follow me and then see how I did them in my former videos. Now I'll place my corset on top, and I'll mark out the basque waistline shape, like the triangular shape. After marking it out, you will not cut exactly on the line you marked. After tracing this out, you will not mark it, you will not cut it out exactly on that line you marked. You just come up by half an inch. You can see that I came up by half an inch, and I had to cut. So after doing that, open your waistline. After opening your waistline, open the waistline. Sorry, after opening the zipper allowance, you also open the zipper allowance of the top, and then you place them together. You make sure that your basque and your side seams are matching each other. Then you go ahead and join. This gown is not too difficult. Then this is what we have at the end of the day. The next thing that I'm going to do now is to shape my sleeve. Remember that puffy sleeve, if you want it to stand like that, you either add a hard gum or a hard net to it so that it will give you that puff. I am done turning my sleeve, and you can see the hemline is curved, and I will shape it to 1 inch, and then I'll fix it to this particular dress. So this is my dress. I'm done shaping my sleeve. I'll make a puff around the shoulder and fix it. After fixing it, I'll also go ahead and fix the other sleeve, like the long sleeve, the long fitted sleeve. You will fix the ankara first of all. Then after fixing the ankara, you will fix the other one, and then add your zipper. And that will be it for this tutorial, guys. So registration for our physical classes is ongoing. We have a fashion school in Enugu. If you want to register, you can just drop a comment in the comment section, and I will direct you on how to register. At the end of the day, this is what our dress looks like, and I think it's beautiful. It is beautiful, guys. If you want any video request, you can just chat me up on Instagram at so with Ujama. Do not forget to subscribe and click on the like button, click on the notification button, so that anytime I upload, you will see my videos. Bye.